This is your boy Mari Points here. Today I'm doing the latest movie review on Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I saw this movie last weekend, and let me just tell you, it was good, but not all good. Though there were a few lingering questions about certain characters from time to time when the credits rolled. Tim Burton's kind of visual makes up for this movie. It was good, but somewhat not good. They kind of made like the characters' scripts feel like they were robotic in a kind of weird way, like uh like there was a few distract moments with Samuel L. Jackson, who is the leader of the non-peculiar people. When he started doing his line, it made him feel like he didn't. It made his performance feel like it was lacking in a few ways. Then there was Ellie Purnell. She was the one playing the floating girl, who could float, who had her her peculiar powers were to float in midair. She her her script felt like it was kind of lacking lacking in some sorts, and I really kind of noticed that when I saw the movie. And Eva Green, her script was kind of lacking as well. She played Miss Peregrine. It kind of looked like her script was pretty wackish when I saw it, and the scripts clunky, climatic kind of left most of the viewers dissatisfied with this movie. Though there are a few characters like everyone should love, like the Invisible Boy, who can sneak into places with no one can see him, but especially without his clothes. Sorry, I got a little sniffle. And also, there's also a girl who can honestly set things on fire by just basically touching them, and a whole lot more kids that are so unique, in their own ways. I think this movie was trying to tell people was it's okay to be a little different, because being a little different can help you accomplish so much in the world, and by just being you. Whatever, and the few positives, what everyone should love about this movie, it's basically a Tim Burton movie, and we've seen Tim Burton do a lot of movies like Frankenweenie. That's a Disney movie that came out like a few years back, and also The Nightmare Before Christmas, A Corpse Bride, all of that stuff. Even though it was a little dark, somewhat, the the it made up it kind of made up in comedy in a few ways. This movie was basically, it was lacking. What I really wanted to see though was like a little more kind of action, in this movie, because basically it was kind of lacking of that. And unfortunately, the story, uh, unfortunately, Burton's films go beyond the story. Sorry about that. He finds some collaborative with a few similarity twists to create a lot of sequences in his head, which I kind of believe is a good thing, because if he didn't do that, we wouldn't have basically any good movies by him. And also, I think what everyone, what he should have done was kind of make it a little more basically about some of the kids He should have, well, basically told a lot more about this story. Sorry about the airplane and all that. I apologize. He should have at least told like the backstory of the main character Jake and his grandfather. His grandfather basically told him a lot of stories, a lot of a lot of stories about Miss Peregrine's home, uh, Miss Peregrine's kids. And there's also this thing called a time loop. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for you, and by telling you what it does. But you're gonna have to see that and check it out for yourself. And also, what else? I think they could have done with a whole lot more with the non-peculiars, because we seem like some of those invisible creatures, and the only uh, I'm sorry if I'm gonna spoil it, but be warned if you want to skip ahead. A lot of these invisible creatures, I know it was probably in the trailer of some sort, but these invisible creatures, the only person who could actually see the creatures was basically Jake, because his peculiar power is to see things that aren't see these monsters when no one else can. See the creatures when no one else can, because that's his peculiar talent. And also, we see a lot of peculiar kids too that have other abilities. Like there's this one little girl who has super strength, and this one kid who can honestly put hearts in like other moving objects like dolls and all other things. I think it was kind of it was a little gross, but I think this isn't the kind of movie you would take little kids to, because if you took little kids to go see this, they would probably be scared and scarred for life. But all in all, I think this movie was basically alright, but I wouldn't give it an excellent, because it was kind of lacking in a few scenes. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, like I already did, but I think it was kind of lacking in a few scenes that maybe Tim Burton could hold done a whole lot more better with this movie, like make it more climatic. Sorry if I can't speak today. He could have made it a whole lot more climatic and more interesting, so the viewers would not be dissatisfied. But all in all, but I think it would have been great if we could have gotten more and more scenes where they didn't make more and more scenes where they didn't actually make the actors feel like they are robotic and all that, because it would have made it more believable if they weren't. If they actually weren't acting robotic with their scripts. And on to the rating. Excuse me for a moment. And sorry about the phone. I give I sorry about my phone, everybody. I give Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Kids. I give Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Kids uh, a C, because I really think that most of these most of these most of the scenes were kind of lacking, like I said before, and the characters weren't that. Most of the characters weren't really that interesting. Most of these characters weren't really that interesting because basically they didn't really bring more and more to their roles. And what else? I wanted to see them like in more scenes where they could actually do a whole lot more. Where they could actually do a whole lot more. like where they could actually do a whole lot more in their scenes. Sorry if I'm getting distracted, and I apologize about the phone and everything. I really do. I didn't mean for that to happen. It just happened. But all in all, like I said, I want. I think they. I think Tim Burton could have done a whole lot more. Like I said, and I wanted him to like make. I wanted him to like make these characters seem like they're believable, instead of just making their scripts more like uh, non-real and all that. And I honestly hope the next movie he directs, he doesn't make the character seems more robotic and all that. And I think that's about it for my movie review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And be sure to click on the Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway. Search my name, Amari Points, and that's where you'll find me, and you'll be able to vote there. And I hope you enjoyed this latest movie review by me, and and I hope you all have a good day. Take care and God bless. Peace.